Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to World of Tanks here. Well, sorry, not welcome back to World of Tanks, welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz here with another garage review. Yes, I know, fourth garage review for Blitz. And that is of this. The Panzer B2, aka the B1 heavy tank, just German captured. So this thing is a tier 4 heavy tank. Once again, it's a tank that I've wanted on World of Tanks PC for a while, but I have never been able to get it. I've always missed out on those deals because either I didn't have enough money or whatever. So I never have it. So I don't yet have it on World of Tanks PC. However, here on Blitz, I do because because everything's much cheaper on Blitz because it's only a mobile game. So you can't expect to pay like 40 quid for a tank. On mobile, you'll pay like £20 or something for it. So yeah, I got this thing on Blitz, and here it is. It's a tier 4 premium heavy tank. So let's have a look here. 25% protection, 20% firepower, 37% shot effectiveness, and 46% maneuverability, which is odd being as it is a heavy tank. But having a look here, 550 hit points for a tier 4 heavy, and I don't know if there's another one to compare it to. Let's have a look. Tier 4, yeah, there is. So, comparing the B1, which I said was 550, to the DW2, which has got 600. So, it's only 50 off of the other Tier 4 heavy, the DW2. Let's have a look here. Is there another one? T28. Britain, there won't be. The Matilda sort of counts, but meh. Doesn't really, and yeah, luckily the Japanese heavies aren't in Blitz. So yeah, it is less health than the DW2, but then again, compared to every other tier 4, it's a lot better. Let's have a look at the Matilda. Hit points 590. Oh, that's a medium tank. Have a look here. 520 for the AC1. What other tier 4s do I have? The Hetzer, but Hetser's a tank destroyer, so it has 440. But tier 4s. No other tier 4s that I have. So, yeah, it does have a large amount of hit points. Sure, the Matilda beats it, but it's the Matilda, what do you expect? But it does have a large amount of hit points, so for tier 4 it's good enough, it's fine. It does have 60 frontal hull and 60 at the side, 55 at the rear, but 46 turret armor all round. If you've seen my B1 review for regular World of Tanks, then go and watch the B1 review, as that's basically this thing, but different. But yeah, so 60 frontal hull and 60 at the side. That's quite a lot of armor for a tier 4 tank. Bearing in mind that this thing only sees tier 4s because of the gun, so you'll only ever see your own tier, and 60mm at the front. Well, it's beaten by the Matilda and the AC1, but I don't know whether it'll be beaten by anything else other than like the Hetzer with its sloped front. But that's quite a lot of hit points, but really the weak points of the front are here, here, and at the side. Well, the entire side is a flat surface, isn't it? So anything that hits, as long as it has more than 60mm of penetration when it hits, it'll go through and do damage. So yeah, these areas are the main frontal weak spots of the hull, and the turret's just 46 all round. The gun mantlet is a funny thing, because this thing and the machine gun, which is what this thing is, the gun mantlet and the machine gun can be odd places, and they will bounce shots. They do have more than 46mm of armor, but as for the rest of it, you know, this bit is a weak spot. Because 46mm of armor, that's nothing at tier 4, really. With some angling, you'll do well with the side because it is sloped, but if it's side on, anything with more than 60 will penetrate, and even if they can't, they've got to aim for the turret because the things that you can't penetrate are highlighted in red in World of Tanks Blitz, so yeah. But yeah, so the hull armor's good, but the turret not so much. It weighs 29 tons with a 340 horsepower engine, which means it has 30 kilometers an hour, which isn't that fast. It's faster than a Matilda, but that's not saying much. So it's fairly slow, but the traverse and turret traverse is very good, 45 and 44, and that's what caught me out when I first played the B1. In regular World of Tanks, when I played the B1, that's what caught me out, the fact that it's so maneuverable for a heavy tank. You can outturn people very easily because that's very good. That's very good traverse. The speed's not that good, but these things are very good. Um, yeah, so the engine here, it's a Renault engine, so 340 horsepower, 20% chance of fire and impact, weighs 40 kilograms. As for the suspension, 33.30 load limit, 45 degrees per second hull traverse, and it weighs 8,550 kilograms. So you do have a lot of load limit to play around with to fit all of your modules and things. Yeah, so there's the turret, Panzer B2 740F, 46, 46, 46, 44, 230 meters view range, which is alright, 220 kilograms weight. As for the gun, it's a 47mm SA35L34. It has a 15.54 rounds per minute rate of fire, which is decent enough, I suppose. Not very good penetration, 55 with AP, 90 with APCR, and 12 with high explosive. So ignore high HE. What you're going to be wanting is AP and APCR. I can do well with AP, even though it's not that much. I can do well with it. It's like the Valentine 2. It's slightly better than the Valentine 2 because it has 55 instead of 51 penetration, but that's not saying much. But I can do well in the Valentine 2 on regular World of Tanks using AP. I can do the same in the Panzer B2 on Blitz because in many ways it's easier to kill things in Blitz because there's not so much shooting back at you. So, yeah. But yeah, 55 average penetration is terrible. With APCR, slightly better. Average damage is 60 with AP and APCR, 75 with high explosives, but with 12mm, good luck trying to get through anything with 12mm of penetration. So yeah, but yeah, the damage isn't that much. But if you've played any 47mm gun, you're used to having low damage. But that's what the high rate of fire is for. It's low damage but high rate of fire. 0.39 dispersion, which is not that great, but a very good aim time of 1.1 seconds. That's a blistering aim time. And it only weighs 100 kilograms, so yeah, you do have... so it's not that much of a hindrance to the tank because it doesn't weigh that much. But as for your equipment, I've gone with Improved Vents Class 3 because getting that reload time down, getting the maneuverability even better, getting the acceleration, that's it, better is always useful. So yep, definitely go with one of them. Camo net, nah, probably not. You don't have the penetration to be a sniper, you barely have the penetration to be a tier 4, so yeah, don't go with that. The same with binos, don't go with that. If you fit an enhanced gun lane drive, you deserve to die and be thrown off a cliff because 1.1 seconds aim time is the fastest aiming gun ever, really. I don't know if there's anything better than 1.1 second aim time, but that's very fast. You do not need one of these on that gun because that aim time is just... what are you even thinking, fitting this thing on? If it was 3.1 seconds, then yeah, sure, fit it on. But no, it's 1.1 seconds. You don't need that. It's a waste of a slot if you're putting that on it. Coated optics, always useful. I've gone ahead and fit that on. Heavy spoiler, not a bad idea, but that's only useful if somebody's spamming high explosive at you, which at tier 4, there are some howitzers going around. The Hetzer, after all, many people like going around in the 105 Hetzer. Hell, I like going around in the 105 Hetzer. So this will definitely help against those HE firing Hetzers, but because there's no artillery, it's rendered more useless in Blitz, and toolbox is just always useful. So yeah, choose between that, possibly that or that. So yeah, up to you as to what you want to go with. I've gone with this because I think it's the best, but I can see if you'd use a spall liner. It does hold 112 rounds of ammo, so you can fit along like 20 APCR rounds and still have a lot of AP rounds to go around. So yeah, that's a large ammo load. Yeah, that's always nice. +3 to engine power and turret traverse with standard fuel, so go ahead and fit that on if you want. +3 to crew mastery with a chocolate bar if you want, go ahead and put that on, and Protective kit for 15% to protection of the crew from injuries, 10% to module repair, 20% to fire damage, to fire protection, and 10% to ammo rack and fuel tank durability. Go ahead and fit that on if you want. I don't have any provisions because I don't want any. And then as for your consumables, repair kit, first aid kit, fire extinguisher. This is all three of them combined, but it does have a cooldown time of 90 seconds, as can all of these things. These things can be used multiple times during one battle, but if you've used them during a battle, then obviously you'll have to pay for a new one. But I've gone with each of these individually because this thing, yeah, sure, it's useful if you get hit for a lot of module and crew injuries, then sure, go ahead and use it. But if you're using it to just repair a broken track and then the next shot that hits you set you on fire, you can't do anything about it because it still has the cooldown of 90 seconds. You don't get to choose when each three of them are going to be used. It's use once and then it has 90-second cooldown regardless of what. So you can repair your track with that, and then if you get set on fire you can use that and still have a first aid kit left over for your crew. This thing, yeah, sure, if you're using adrenaline or engine power boost for plus 20% to engine power for 15 seconds, or 20% to load speed and 10% to chance to damaging an enemy module for 15 seconds, sure, if you're using either of those two, go with a couple of them. But I've gone with each of them individually because I think it's better and more beneficial to go with each one individually. But if you are using this thing, 75-second cooldown, the same with this. This thing I can see being useful for the extra load speed and chance of damaging enemy modules, so yeah, if you want to use that, then sure, go ahead and use it. But as for the engine power boost, yeah, sure, probably not a bad idea on this thing if you want, and then go with one of those, but I'm just going with each one individually. So that goes over that. As for the crew, it's a heavy tank, so you can train your heavy tank skills on it, but yeah, crew works differently in Blitz. You don't have individual commanders and things. You instead have one crew does everything for each tank. They're trained variously on different tanks, and then you choose, you know, different things like that. So yeah. So yeah, up to you which one you go for. I'm training Adrenaline Rush right now because, yeah, most useful for vehicles with high durability and thick armor. So yeah. So yeah, it's up to you what crew skills you can go with. That's one thing that I can't tell you what to go with. As for the camouflages, you've got you've got willpower, and then you got honor of a nation, and then you've got uneven boulder, green tundra, cedar woodland, which is what I've gone with, swamp moss, and forest windbreak. So yeah, I've gone with that because I think it looks the best. But yeah, up to you. Then you've got your improved camouflage, such as Thunderbolt, Digital Forest, which is I'm not too sure I'd fit it on this. I think it looks alright, but at the same time I think it looks terrible on this. It's sort of one of those things where it's like, it looks terrible, but I like it. As for Thunderbolt, I don't really think this thing actually fits it. And then you've got Undeniable Advantage, which admittedly actually looks alright. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad, this thing on there. As for the winter, you got Melting Snow, which is what I've gone with, Mountain Peak, Green Tundra, and even Boulder again, Frostbitten Glacier. Confidence, I didn't go with that because I thought this looked better. Then you got Blizzard, of course, your improved camos, and then Combat Valor, which I think looks the best on this. Then you got Uneven Boulder and Green Tundra again. Iron Zeal, Sand Drift, Desert Sun, and Wild Dunes, so yeah, up to you for the camouflages. But overall, this is a fairly strong tier 4 tank, heavy tank, which only sees its own tier, which is a large benefit. And I do like this tank. I think it's alright. The gun is not that good, but it's very mobile. The turret and traverse speed is very good, but the actual acceleration and everything, not so much. But yeah, I think I do like the Panzer B2, and I also like the B1 heavy tank, which is the French version of it, which is the original. But yeah, I think this thing's very good at tier 4. It's particularly strong, even if the penetration isn't that good. But with the highlighting in red, you can see exactly where to shoot to penetrate. So having that much penetration is really that much of an issue because you can easily aim for weak spots with it. So yeah, I will thank you for watching and goodbye.